10 years ago today, I uploaded my first ever YouTube video. It was titled The 99's Minecraft Let's Play, Episode 1. It's me! And it began a 10-year-long journey where I created whatever I was interested in at the time. More importantly, this whole channel is a time capsule. The further back you scroll, the further back you go through the different eras of my life. So much history happened on this channel, so it would be criminal to do nothing for the 10-year anniversary. And what better way to celebrate than to do a full recap of the longest, most iconic series on this channel. The series that started it all and kept it going for so long. The 99's Minecraft Let's Play. There's a few things I hope to accomplish with this recap. This series is a goldmine of funny moments, especially spelling mistakes, but also memories that are important to me. However, 70 plus episodes isn't very digestible. Not to mention the context around these videos that isn't well known. I hope to take the best moments of the series and neatly compile them for others to enjoy, as well as adding background info that ties everything together. Secondly, I started this channel because I wanted to be like my favorite YouTubers, but as time went on, I realized I never cared about the view numbers or the subscriber count. In fact, usually, I never knew what these numbers even were at a given time. I made videos because I found it enjoyable. I was creating something and putting it out there for the world to see for the first time in my life. And even though I never cared how many people actually saw it, I still think little Steven deserves to have the spotlight shined on his old work. Now, let's watch every episode of the 99's Minecraft Let's Play, going back to the very beginning. But first, some context. If you're new to the series, you're probably wondering, why did you name your Minecraft Let's Play after a number? Well, the name comes from our Minecraft usernames. I'm Steven99, my brother's Jacob99, and my dad's Nutsy99. My friend Marcus, on the other hand, is Marcus D99. Since we all play together, it made sense to name the series after our usernames, although maybe I could have thought of a more clever name. Of course, this raises another question. Why do you all have 99 in your username? My dad has been using the name Nutsy99 in various games for ages. Not sure where it came from, but when he made our accounts, he just used the same format. Secondly, anything useful or decent looking in this series was built by my dad. I didn't build anything that was better than a box until well after the series ended. My dad wanted to spend time with me and my brother, and also have an excuse to play Minecraft. So he put together these projects, quote, for us, and I only understand now, looking back, how much time it must have taken to put it all together, especially without beacons or iron farms. How long did it take for him to dig out the storage room in the farm area? Why didn't he just put this stuff above ground? That probably would have saved a lot of whatever. Lastly, the default aspect ratio in Windows Movie Maker is set to 4:3 instead of 19 for some reason. So the first few videos aren't going to fill the screen. My editing software despises this and fixes it by stretching it out in this weird way. So all the video is going to be awkwardly stretched for the first 30 or so minutes of the video. Sorry, nothing I can do about it. With this out of the way though, let's get into the recap.
Everybody, Nutsy99 here, and I'm going to give you a little tour of our first world in Minecraft called Not StarCraft.
This is the first video ever uploaded to my channel. It was a test video that my dad made to teach me how to use Windows Movie Maker and upload to YouTube. As the name suggests, the audio is very quiet because the webcam mic wasn't very loud. This video also features the www.fraps.com watermark at the top of the screen, since we hadn't actually bought the recording software yet. My dad walks around the base for a bit, explaining this world is called Not StarCraft, because he was playing a lot of StarCraft at the time. A very slow credit sequence plays before the video ends. This is the first video I actually made. Unfortunately, the audio no longer works outside the intro music on this video. The intro music was added using YouTube's free music library, but I guess the rest got muted somehow. Even when the audio was working, what you wouldn't know is that I was using the same webcam mic my dad used to make the last video. But this time, Dad is holding it right up to my mouth so I can actually be heard. It was a really awkward setup, but it had to do for the time. Hey, at least the Fraps watermark is gone. Over the course of the video, I walk from the main base to the train station and ride a minecart to Stevens Watchtower. During the ride, I point out all the coal and iron ore in the tunnel. This is because at the time we mined it, we had nowhere to put it. I didn't explain this in the video, although the audio is gone, so it's not like it would have been helpful. We also have our first of many spelling mistakes in this video. Ops! Expect many more to come. I take the minecart up to my bedroom before signing off and rolling credits. Also, I have no idea why that birch tree is there. Looking back, I'm very glad my dad built this railway system, because without it, I have no idea how we've gone anywhere without dying or getting lost. Oh, I almost forgot. Episode 1 has my first ever hate comment, coming in from NanoSoulRock8315. How dare you call this a Let's Play? You need to start from scratch, you idiot! I reply, although not directly, hey, what do you expect from a 10-year-old? Be nice! There's actually some lore here, because NanoSoulRock8315 is actually my soon-to-be best friend.
Hello, my lady loves. My name is Discarded Ferns. Welcome to Bros Adventures.
Can you let me do my intro?
7 years later, you can see my reply to the original comment, chastising them for leaving my first ever hate comment. You don't need to start from scratch, you idiot. You can also see some banter between my past self and my less past, more recent self, I guess. You can see me in my middle school phase, where I was like, you know what, my young self, he was cringe. And then right under that, you have me from less than 2 years ago, telling myself from 4 years ago to shut up. Pasta Camel from 10 years ago was right. And you know what, I have to side with more recent Pasta Camel on this one. Episode 2 requires some context. YouTube used to limit the length of your videos if you hadn't verified your email address yet, which, for whatever reason, I had not done yet. So this episode is split into 3 parts. 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. This episode explores the world while I aimlessly wander around it, so it's worth explaining its backstory too. This is actually the first world that I ever played on. It's the first world that any of us had actually ever played on. The world was originally generated in Minecraft Beta 1.7, and it shows because it's littered with creeper holes, blocks moved by endermen, chunk errors, and mismatched biomes.
Hello everyone, Steve here. Good to see you.
Episode 2.1 picks up where episode 1 left off, but with a new microphone. This microphone has its own quirkiness though, being way too sensitive. You can hear everything going on in the whole house with this microphone, which will be a reoccurring theme. You'll also hear a high-pitched humming from my computer, you will hear my keyboard, and you will hear me picking up and slamming my mouse back down periodically whenever I run out of mouse space, which is all the time. Another reoccurring theme is that I don't have a plan for the episode. I hit record and just started playing. I even start the episode with the caption, "What did I want to do again?" I start the episode by traveling down the train station, before Dad tells me I actually need to stop playing and take a shower.
Oh,
No, pause. I said the first person to take a shower is the first one.
hello everyone, Steve here.
When I come back, my younger brother Jacob is next to me. He introduces himself before I remind the audience, actually, I'm the one with the camera. I then leave to go right back to where I was before. and then ask,
What was I doing?
Fortunately, a caption comes on screen that tells us that I was going to go to a destination. Whatever that is.
In a world, one man battles octopi and platform pie.
But then, disaster strikes. Jacob and I are both on the same minecart track, and our minecarts are on a collision course.
No!
I barely recover, so much so that I struggle to get back into my minecart, taking me several attempts. It's at this point I acknowledge my bumpy speech, aka my constant stuttering. You'll notice throughout the series it takes me a long time to turn my thoughts into words, although I'll improve with time. Making videos actually helped me tremendously with my stuttering, which was a huge problem at the time. Back at the main base, I play the cat music disc, retell jokes from TV without actually giving the context,
Someone help my tire!
and type, I'm recording! Very, very slowly. Which is another recurring theme. I type very, very slowly. Jacob then threatens to throw his secret potion at me.
Don't make me shoot this potion will hurt you. What potion do you have?
But it's just a speed potion.
What is that? Speed. Hey, now I can have a fast getaway.
After messing with the water at this chunk area, I found an old house that I built before the world was initially lost. And then this part ends. At the end of each part, I check or ask my dad if it's been 10 minutes.
Dad? Is 10 minutes up?
I was probably trying to make sure that Note Part 1 over the 15-minute mark just to be safe. Episode 2.2 starts the same way Episode 2.1 does. Probably as an accident. It's the same clip up until I need to shower. We then pick up roughly in the same place we left off, before explaining,
I'm only 9. My younger brother Jacob, right next to me. Jake, say hi. Hi! He's only 6, so no. No, I'm not 6, I'm 7. 7. Sorry. So no swearing in the comments.
You heard him. No swearing in the comments. Jacob then announces he will be building a watchtower out of sandstone. But when I come to watch, nighttime approaches, and panic sets in.
Quickly! Run, quickly! Get to the house! I claim this bed! Hi!
Hi, Jake. Jacob chooses the area he's gonna build,
I'm gonna make it here! No, I'm here!
places a few sandstone blocks, and then 10 minutes are up. Episode 2.3 starts with Jacob finishing a 4-block tall wall and realizing he's out of blocks. So I go to the storage room to get more sandstone while he screams, I need sandstone! While in the storage room, I encounter 2 slimes and brag about how I could beat them. I just don't want to. I grab some sandstone and head back. Jacob is still screaming at me, by the way. After debating if Steven N99 would stand for Steven Nuddle 99, or Steven Nuddle 99, or
Steven N90. Knock it off!
I quote a joke from TV without a single clue in the goddamn world that it's a masturbation joke.
If you're anxious, twist your leg, then then do it in private, not in front of thousands of people. You might even be sent to jail.
After another misspelling of oops and hitting my head to the Darth Vader theme,
Ow, 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 ow.
the 3-part episode comes to a close.
Like so is appreciated. Please subscribe, I beg you. And favorite this video. Goodbye. Salute and goodbye. And now goodbye.
Episodes 3 and 4 came out before episodes 2.2 and 2.3. Why? I have no idea. I think I just got excited to keep making videos and forgotten to edit the ones that I had already created.
Hello everyone, Steven here. All alone on the server. This is a different world we call the hardcore mode server. So see, it's hardcore mode. Dun, dun, dun.
Episode 3 is immediately different from the ones that we've already seen, because it's on a completely different world. This world we call the hardcore world, or sometimes the hardcore server. Believe it or not, this is actually the main world of the series, and the other one is one we just periodically go back to. Yes, the first 2 episodes of the series weren't even on the main world. Why? I have no idea. On top of that, this world is in hardcore mode. Back then when you died on a server in hardcore mode, because it can't just delete the world and spectator mode didn't exist yet, it would ban you. So every time Jacob and I died, which was not too uncommon, Dad would have to unban us because we didn't know how to do it ourselves. Also, I have to address this. My diamond sword is named Full Diamond Jouster. One of the few times diamond is spelled correctly in this series, by the way. And my bow is the Shoot Innator 500 Innator. And the rest of my inventory is a complete and utter disaster. I have 3 swords, all of different tiers. I have 2 stacks of glass panes, I have a single rod of flesh, I have a wood axe, I have 64 bones, 4 pies, 2 signs, 7 saplings. This is not even as chaotic as it gets. You'll see later in the series, I didn't always keep my inventory organized and I didn't always have only what I needed on me. We'll say that much. I start giving a tour of the world, showing the audience Jacob's house, the main castle, and my own house, all of which were built by my dad, of course. I then leave the castle walls on a stone brick road that, quote, isn't finished and, quote, might not ever get finished, and walk towards some buildings that were actually built by Jacob and I. You can tell because the quality of these buildings isn't as good. Before I can explain what these buildings are, though, Jacob notices that we've changed worlds, and he seems a bit disappointed.
It's the hardcore world. Steven, why you go first? Wait, I just stopped. I know.
I then explain that this building is Jacob's store, that someone abandoned house and cat, and this is our original starter base that's really cold judging by all the snow and this caption. After a while, I realized that it doesn't make sense for it to be cold if the fireplace is lit, so I quickly fixed that by turning off the fireplace and declaring that it's now -3 degrees. I go into this whole lore about how the heating system isn't working anymore, so now it's really cold. Does it make sense at all? No. Did I care? Clearly not. I walk back to the main castle area and explain the color coding in front of the animal pens, but Jake takes issues with some of the choices.
Black wool for cows. No, that should be brown wool for cows. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Brown for for chickens. No, make white.
I then get kicked from the server because Jacob logged in under my account on accident somehow. And this episode ends. Arn, Jacob. Something that's actually pretty cool for a 9-year-old is that this waterfall area is something I actually made. It has pistons that can turn it off and on. and the redstone is completely hidden. It's nothing crazy, but how much redstone were you touching in 2013? Did you touch it at all?
Okay guys, I'm back. Sorry, something happened there.
Episode 4 is also split into parts. What makes this different from Episode 2, though, is that while Episode 4.1 exists, Episode 4.2 and Episode 4.3 do not. I assume this is because I forgot to edit them or didn't think they were worth editing or something. Maybe I just forgot about them. We'll never know for sure. Episode 4.1 starts where Episode 3 left off and sees the tour continue to the interior of the castle. Here we have some strange contraption that I believe I built as a prison for snow golems, I think. Such a shame. I then completely forget I'm doing a tour and attempt to name this book, but I don't have enough levels. Wait, pause. Why is it costing me 5 levels to rename this item? What a ripoff. I get the resources for a book and quill, and while I'm at it, organize the chests very slowly. During this time, we learn that Jacob's been having a bad day, and he lost all his stuff. Presumably, he died in our not-so-hardcore server, and he's stressing about getting everything back. I make my book and quill, and write nothing in the book. I name it, My Best Friend is a Nope, that was too long. So I call it MFIA. Oh no, Jacob needs to be asleep.
I was in the middle of something!
MFIATWW, which I clarify stands for My Friend is a Teenage Werewolf. I wasn't a teenage werewolf. My friend was. Don't get confused. I add some asterisks to the book name while Jacob begins to hyperventilate over getting his stuff. I explain the asterisks are meant to be a 5-star rating because
I love that series!
I then show off my TV on an absolutely massive couch while Jacob complains that he's starving to death. Oh my god, he is having a bad day. I then reveal I have another random empty book titled History of AC. AC apparently stands for Ackerwatt's Castle, which I only confirmed the spelling of from this random frame of the sign outside the gate. Who the hell is Ackerwatt? What the hell? I wander aimlessly for a bit, then show off the inside of Jacob's house, which has a hot tub on the second floor for some reason. The video then abruptly ends. I assume this is where part 2 was supposed to happen, but of course, that's been lost to time.
Hello everyone, Steven here. This is not on the server. This is the world we call the Amazing World Recording.
I'm gonna lump episodes 5 and 6 together, since they're the same video cut into 2, just like episode 2 was cut into multiple parts. Episode 5 even ends abruptly at the 15-minute mark, with episode 6 picking up at the next frame. Episodes 5 and 6 are on a completely different world that has nothing to do with either of the last 2. This one is a creative mode single-player world I created before I started doing YouTube, but when I knew I absolutely wanted to make YouTube videos. So I called it The Amazing World of Recording. I intended to make all sorts of series on here, but never actually did. This video is mostly a tour of the world, so I'll go through the major landmarks. This main area is supposed to be a secret spy base for the organization OSHA, or OSHA. Throughout the base, you'll see that my friend Marcus spawned a bunch of horses everywhere, and I periodically kill them every time I see one. I'm going to be pretty extensive in my documentation of this tour, because, to my knowledge, this is the only evidence this world even existed. With that out of the way, the landmarks at the OSHA base included the horse stables, which are home to T, Sparky, and Steven's Beam! A wolf named Test Subject, who fittingly participated in testing the new name tag item. A wall of so-called spy chickens being tortured for eternity on this wall of bedrock. Various businesses staffed by OSHA business owners. such as Anvil District, Bank, and Sleeping Quarters. There's also lots of iron golems, a mine whose existence is implied but never shown, a bathroom, and a library where I throw XP bottles at the floor and pick them all up at once, a prison which collects eggs from spy chickens, my first ever command blocks to my knowledge, which executed /toggle downfall /time set night and /time set day respectively.
That's the oopsies thingy. Whatever.
A supposed wonder of the world next to the laziest Easter Island heads ever constructed, a minecart that takes you to a pit of lava,
The famous ride that rides you all the way to your death.
and this map hallway, which actually gives us a pretty good view of the world. This is the world where I first learned that the two most fun items in this game are lava and TNT. This is evident in the maps labeled TNT Grons 1 through 5, Lava Big Time, and THT Hurricane. You can also see my love for creating infinite water sources in maps labeled I utterly devastated everywhere in this world outside of the walls of this base, with lava and TNT going for miles. Outside the base are various roads that go to different places, including a tower called a forward operating base, a bridge that was destroyed by the lava big time, and a path that simply goes to the wilderness that is yet to be touched by TNT or flooded with lava. At the edge of the lava big time, there are some redstone experiments, as well as a small platform that was meant for mod reviews I wanted to do in the future.
If A is greater than B, A, B, and C is on.
Something to note is that the audio in these videos slowly gets out of sync with the video, which is a problem that periodically plagued my videos. Another thing to note is that 3/4 of the way through episode 5, I summoned a donkey using the Stevens Beam spawn egg and put the following in its chest. Books named All Abbreviations, All About ZB, and BSWBA4. I loved abbreviating things. I also put 3 name tags named Pet Creeper, Test Subject, but spelled correctly this time, and General McGullum. A bottle o' chanting named Experiencemincer, a spawn egg for the OSHA agents that roam the base, and, of course, 1 unnamed wheat item. Lastly, my sword is named Diamondo of All Magic, and it has every enchantment in the game on it. And, famously, my bow is named Steven, after Marcus got a hold of my computer. I start burning down this jungle for no other reason than my newfound love for destruction before episode 6 ends just as abruptly as episode 5 did, but with no continuation. Episodes 7, 8, and 9 do not exist. I don't know what happened to them, or if they ever existed. All I know is that according to YouTube Studio, episode 8, Custom Map, failed to upload because it was too long, but unfortunately, I couldn't recover it, and the rest are nowhere to be found. In that time though, I apparently fixed the aspect ratio, yay! To add another layer to this though, after the first title card of the series, we're greeted with Jacob?
Hello guys, this is my Hardcore Road.
Yes, this episode is recorded by Jacob, not me. Not sure why the change, but it is the 99's Minecraft Let's Play, and Jacob at 99 is included in the 99, so I suppose it makes sense. The first thing that happens in this video is Jacob realizes he's lost all his levels from dying, and, for an unknown reason, decides he needs to get some back. He politely asks the moon to set faster and the sun to rise faster.
Yeah, go down.
before passing the time by trying to put a gold nugget in his helmet slot, exploring my house,
What kind of semen a zombie got in your house?
and snacking on some rotten flesh. He then starts heading towards the zombie spawner, but then decides whatever he's doing isn't actually worth it, so instead he roams the general area before returning to the castle. During his time roaming, he fails this jump,
Oh, man.
and this jump.
Oh, I just wasted it. Okay, just try that. I'm not gonna do that.
Jacob then puts the random assortment of wool he's had in his inventory for the whole episode away in some chests, before calling out to Marcus's mom for something.
Marlena! 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 Just hold on for a second, guys.
The video then transitions with this weird pixelation transition.
Okay, guys, I am back.
You'll be seeing a lot of it, by the way. He then finds this randomly placed wooden button, and a caption appears that reads, "Mysterious Wooden Button." As the title of the episode would suggest, I meant to emphasize but didn't know it was spelt with 2 T's. The episode title was actually changed after uploading to fix this mistake, but the caption remains. Jacob then shoots the button, which the caption declares, "Target Practice Wooden Button," before Jacob says he doesn't want to play Minecraft anymore because...
So, because I have a little time. It's okay.
This is how he talked for 90% of the episode. You cannot hear what he's saying. He still talks like this today!
So, guys, the likes are appreciated, thumbs up, and goodbye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Floating Creeper Head Ghost.
This episode is a tour of a custom map I was working on at the time, but never finished. For some reason, I'm an invisible floating creeper head the entire time. I'm not sure why. Since I don't remember many details about this, I decided to challenge myself and see how much 10-year-old me could explain to 19-year-old me. Here's what I got. There's this jungle temple looking thing where you have to fight cave spiders and get rewarded with the Commander's Diary.
Commander's Diary. I know that's not spelled right. I did that from Rome.
A book with 29 total spelling errors, which is 20% of all words written in the book. The diary tells us a story of a lumber company that runs into trouble when the Wick is released from his prison tomb and destroys the settlement with some explosive glowstone-like substance. I have no idea what the Wick is supposed to be. My first thought was witch, but I pronounced it the Wick in the video, and there's no reason for it to be John Wick, of course. The player is then supposed to follow a glowstone path to a dungeon. During this part of the video, Jacob demands that I turn the rain off.
Oh, it's raining! Steamer, turn off the rain! Alright.
In the dungeon, you get to choose between 2 chests, one of them being trapped. The top one gives you invisibility potions, while the other one gives you diamonds, but triggers something else that I think I wanted to keep a secret. You then climb out of the dungeon, climb this tree, and choose between a chest and a trap chest again. Except it's very clear this time what the trap chest will do, and you take the night vision potions from the correct chest. I go to a different part of the map that's disconnected from the part we were just at. It seems to be an uncompleted hallway intersection, but then I start to work on it and the video cuts. After the cut, I get distracted by this piston door, before explaining that one of the hallways goes to a place I haven't decided yet, but will know soon. One of the signs in this intersection says tree business, so I'm assuming these are different quest lines in the map. I spend the rest of the episode killing monsters before I end the episode. I did not tour like half the stuff in the area, despite killing lots of monsters on these structures. I stopped explaining stuff entirely once I finished explaining the tree business quest line. Before that though, I did walk the audience through what I had and explain what was going on pretty decently. I have some questions about the design of the map, like why the only threat is some cave spiders at the beginning, as well as some trap chests to avoid. But I have no questions about the tour itself before I left the jungle area. Half the map was explained fine, the other half wasn't explained at all, so it makes sense to give this explanation a 5 out of 10.
Okay, it's the time for the amazing mode of recording.
To make up for there not being in episode 7, 8, or 9, there are 2 episode 11s, this being the second one. This is another episode recorded by Jake, but he explains at the beginning it's done in secret.
I'm using the computer.
An interesting thing that happens at the beginning of this episode is that you see some of the worlds I have on my computer. I have the amazing world of recording, which you've already seen a lot already. Synthetic Decorations, which was a 1-episode series I did on my channel a few videos prior. 1.7. Adventure 1.6.1, which has the file name Adventure 147. And Kate's second awesome world.
What? Come on another.
When Jacob loads up the amazing world of recording, it appears that I've left off in the Nether, and he'll have to find his way back home. Jacob then randomly kills Pigman, which I made into a cool slow motion scene. You'll be seeing this rainbow effect a lot in the future too, by the way. He keeps killing Pigman and starts spawning witches to kill too. He then goes back to the overworld where he loots a desert temple, terrorizes more mobs before the episode ends.
Hello, welcome to the 99's Minecraft Let's Play. Oh, wait, no, I said Steven here, but whatever. So this is a special episode. We're going to find the stronghold.
In the next 3 special episodes, I team up with Jacob and Dad to find the stronghold. We don't actually fight the dragon. We just locate the stronghold in preparation. Before we leave, I put away a bunch of unnecessary items in my inventory. However, the items I decide are necessary enough are questionable, like these fences and this dandelion. I combine my bow with a power 1 bow, and my dad enchants Jacob's sword for him. Then we get on our horses and set off.
Calm down. Calm down. Ever since Storky heard that he's gonna be the one coming along with us, he's been so excited. He can barely contain himself. Ah! Okay, stop. You can stop now.
We make it to a jungle and a river.
Oh, come on. There's water.
And with it probably being too difficult for our horses to cross, we decide to go back and leave our horses behind. But then, it appears Dad falls into a hole, and he says, "Oh gosh!" before the episode ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
What? We both almost fell into the later chunks.
He didn't fall in the hole. Not sure why I ended the episode on a cliffhanger, only for no payoff. Although, come to think of it, we didn't even find the stronghold in the episode titled Stronghold, so what can you expect? On the way back to the base, our donkeys make it very well known that they're not happy with being excluded from the rest of the trip.
Hey! Oh no! Don't pop me up, Pokey! Don't pop me up! Uh-oh. 3, 2, 1. Wow! Don't do that again, Jorky! Ow! Jorky! Wow! No, I'm gonna bump into a tree! Bonk! Ow!
After making our way back, we find a
Jungle ruin! No, what?
I'm not so sure about that, Jake. We fire lots of Eyes of Ender until they start going downwards, and we start digging down.
I have torches, and I have coal, and I have fire resistant potion. He said he I'm talking!
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Calm yourself down.
Let me
Jacob.
talk.
Jacob, I said I had this stuff. Just calm
Yeah,
down.
but
It's not
yeah,
worth it. No,
I just
Jacob,
talked
Jacob,
to
no.
Shortly after we begin to dig, though, the episode ends, and episode 14 picks up in the exact same place. However, my videos are slightly over 15 minutes now, meaning I actually went ahead and verified my email address and lifted the 15-minute restriction. I don't have to cut these videos into multiple parts anymore. I'm not sure why I'm still doing it. I have some theories, but I've probably already given it more thought than 10-year-old me actually did. The intro for this video has a special message announcing that Jacob helped me edit this video. This was probably because he wanted to see the process, so Dad was like, "You have to let him help you." So he sat next to me while I edited. During the mine down, Jacob offers to help with his...
And I have a pig what has infinity too. Hey, wait a minute.
We fire the remaining Eyes of Ender to get a better idea of where the end portal actually is, which leads us directly to it. After a fight with some silverfish, we break the spawner, loot the library, and make another portal. A caption comes on screen explaining that the rest of the stuff we did in the video is being cut because it wasn't very interesting, and the video ends.
Hello guys, this is okay. I know this is the flat world and there's a floating abandoned mine shaft.
This episode, Jacob managed to create a flat world on the overworld preset that had mine shafts in the sky. Actually, floating mine shafts. My bad. Not much happens in this episode other than this caption getting mad at Jacob for digging for too long.
Jake, I told you to quiet down. Okay, Steven, today I'm going to show you a few things you can do with redstone.
In episode 16, I show off a lot of simple redstone contraptions I made, including a trash can, which is just a hole of void, this infinite redstone circuit that opens a door and sets my game mode to survival before the torch fizzles out, a pig farm that uses pig spawners and a player holding a carrot to function, and, of course, a big pile of TNT. I explained some basic redstone components like command blocks, hoppers, spawners, and repeaters. The video has a lot of background noise, including Jacob jumping on a small trampoline, the family dog Chloe squeaking a dog toy, and Jacob randomly screaming.
And monster spawners. Jake, again. Diamond boots. I wasn't recording.
When watching through this series again, episode 17 is when I finally realized that Jacob opens every one of his episodes with a scream. This time, he's screaming about his new diamond boots he just mined for.
What is this?
This episode follows Jacob on a mining trip. He finds a cave, and while he's hesitant to go in it at first, due to it being hardcore mode, he does so anyway. After a tense fight with a zombie, he reaches the end of the small cave and tells Dad how brave he was.
I tried to be brave enough to explore the cave and I just killed a zombie.
Before going back to strip mining. He strip mines for the rest of the episode.
Looks like this might be a good safe mountain. Oh, you guys are here. Hello, everyone. Steven here.
This episode, I reveal my secret plan to build a big pyramid in the desert. Don't know why it needs to be a secret, it just needs to be. To construct the pyramid though, I'm gonna need lots of sand for sandstone. So I start digging. When it turns dark, I build a small sand shack to sleep in. While digging, I talk about the upcoming school field trip. On this field trip, we went to the beach to collect crabs as class pets, as well as some salt water, rocks, and seashells for their tank. I talk about how the island we're going to is colder than the surrounding area, and the surrounding area is already pretty chilly, so when we get there it's going to be pretty cold. I then switch to talking about how a few days ago, a fox was spotted on the playground at recess and we had to go inside early.
Woohoo! Guess what day it is? Guess what day? It's hump day.
Episode 19, titled Fox, isn't actually about the fox. I told that story in the last episode. I finished explaining some of the details though, before my last shovel breaks and I head back to the base. Except, I don't actually head back to the base, and instead just wander aimlessly for a bit. Jacob then asks what I'm up to, before I realize he's just got out of the shower and is still naked. I have no recollection of this event happening, so I don't remember how it's possible I could have had a conversation with him without immediately knowing that he wasn't wearing clothes. I'm assuming he was upstairs or behind a corner or something. Finally, I asked my dad to bring me some shovels, and in the meantime I realized that while my pickaxe is on low durability, it can definitely take 4 more uses, so I make 4 stone shovels.
Hello guys, Steven here.
Yep.
Alert. They're about to play real life Minecraft.
At this point in my watch through, these videos began to drag on and on, even when watching at ×2 speed. Starting with episode 20, I installed a Chrome extension that lets me watch at 3 times speed to get through the boring parts much faster. There are many parts throughout this series where I'm just not talking or doing mundane tasks, and I never bother to cut them out. I start this episode by noting that, quote, they are playing real-life Minecraft again. They probably referring to Jacob and one of his friends. Not sure who the friend is, though. This explains the steady flow of background noise throughout the episode. About a third of the way through the episode, I get jump scared by an Enderman. I then explain that in a previous episode that'll be released soon, it never was, we chased Jacob around and...
He did some tricks on me, blah.
Did what? I know I didn't say drugs in that sentence, but that's the only word I can make out. Man, we must have missed out on quite an episode. Anyway, in this video, we're doing some Get Jacob practice. After cutting away, the training course has been completed, and it's time to do a run-through. Actually, this has nothing to do with getting Jacob, but shooting skeletons and zombies represented by wool blocks. I complete the course easily, thanks to me saying the name of every mob before I kill it.
Zombie, 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 zombie. Skeleton.
Yeah.
Creeper.
I hang up an award for the horse that I completed the course with, named Angel, although spelt Angle. I tell my donkey, named Dorky, that soon it'll be time to do the course with him, but a little differently. At the 10-minute 47-second mark, the recording glitches out for the rest of the episode, looking like this.
Good news, it's 24 hours later. Bad news, now they're playing Wipeout on the Wii and failing on purpose.
Ah, yes. The Green Goo Grog episode. A true classic. This episode, I do the same course as last episode, but with Dorky. This time, though, there's a twist. I have a poison potion named Green Goo Groog. GGG.
Hey Dad, look, I have some green goo grog.
Also, my brother and his friend aren't playing real-life Minecraft anymore, but they are playing Wipeout on the Wii and failing on purpose, so the stream of background noise continues. I make the Green Goo Grog using a book I actually named H that has a secret recipe which requires steps like brew for 20 seconds and add the secret ingredient. The Minecraft music starts playing, which made future me watching this video back nostalgic, before video me abruptly decides to turn it off in favor of turning the game sounds up, including the rain. I then get on Dorky and drink the Green Goo Grog. The point of the Green Goo... Screw it, I'm not saying that every time. The point of the poison potion was to simulate getting shot at, with the goal of getting from one end of the street to the other before I take too much damage. The poison potion was a little too effective at this. almost killing me. Fortunately, poison leaves you on half a heart, which is something this experience actually taught me. I drink some milk and heal up, and pretend to vomit in some chests.
Oh. Threw up more. This is just sad.
A caption lets us know I'm feeling better before the episode abruptly ends. Thank you guys so much for watching all of part 1. I know it's very long, and there's still a long way to go, but most episodes from here on out should be like the later episodes where they're pretty short, rather than the earlier ones that require context or the multi-part episodes. I'll try to make this a 3-part series, no more than 4 parts, with the next 2 being around 30 minutes. I don't know how long they'll take to make, because it entirely depends on my motivation, but the script is already done for most of part 2, so it shouldn't take too long. I'm also new to this longer form essay format of video, and I'm still learning the best way to do it. Hopefully there'll be less mic popping in part 2. Finally, like is always appreciated. Please subscribe and favorite this video. Salute! Bye bye!